Hi, this is Kevin. I thought this time I'd start off with talking to you directly. I'm going to finish off my videos of fantasy armies just because I'm that close, and we pulled them out for a game this last weekend, and I got one more coming up, and it's just easy to finish that off. I got interested in just doing some mythical and fantasy armies, probably because of the Lord of the Rings, and we really like playing Warmaster, and so it just kind of made sense, you know. And I really enjoy just not having books that tell me how to paint something or what it should look like. So I just had fun buying figures from multiple different manufacturers and just putting it together. That was a lot of fun. You know, what does an elf army look like, or a vampire army, or a dwarf? I mean, it's really whatever you want it to look like, what makes you feel comfortable. So I'm mainly a historical gamer. That's what I do, and that's what I really, really love. But um, I think it's kind of fun to mix in some other things that are fantasy. And so today, I'm going to present my vampiric army under Vlad von Karstein. So it's a big one because, well, I went overboard like I usually do. Anyway, let's take a look at this thing, and then you guys can tell me what you think when we're done. Okay, well, first off, you know, let's start off with this model here. I thought this was a very, very cool model. It's not on a dragon or nothing. It's some mythical creature of some kind, but painted him to just to, you know, how I thought they would possibly look. And that's the vampire lord riding this war beast. Anyway, I liked it. And then I created a mini diorama of kind of a witch's coven, bringing in the fresh bodies and doing their incantations and things by a cottage. Anyway, that's kind of just a piece with ghouls in the back, and there's doing something naturally with all those terrible bodies. And yeah, I thought it turned out pretty nice. Very eerie, weird looking thing. So I think, you know, starting with different commanders, I just really enjoy just doing various different things. This is a one of the commanders. It's a necromancer, and he's riding a skeleton chariot, and he's casting a spell. So I have this spell coming off the back like some green fog of some kind, and I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. I had a lot of fun thinking about what would a spell look like if it was coming off of a chariot. And of course, there's my ominous bone dragon. Every vampire army has to have a bone dragon. It's a little bit large for this army, but I think it's supposed to be impressive, and it is. So, what else do we have? We have some smaller commanders here. So, like Walguffs or Warguffs or bat wolves things. See, I don't even know the lingo for this. Different type of mini dragons. Here's another one that was painted up with some ghouls. Yeah, I think they look kind of nice. Picked up this model too. This is kind of a necromancer. I painted him in a little bit of a green shades, and yeah, I think he turns out nice with kind of a green foggy base like death, because that's what he's supposed to be, just nasty. And what else do we have here? We have a black coach. We have, what else for commanders do we have? Well, we have this guy here riding one of those baby dragons, and I put him on a kind of like a outcrop ledge. And we have a vampire lord of some kind, and he's in charge of the vampire troops. Anyway, so here's the vampires, the vampire army. I painted them in blood red. Their shields look like vampire wings. These are from Battle Valor Games, my friend Ed. And I think they just look fantastic. They really do. They're vampires. They're in armor. They're elite troops. They're not skeletons. They're just an elite block. And I had fun making the different banners. Unit of vampire crossbowmen, and of course their commander up front. They even have some. Ed's got some really nice cavalry. So these are the vampiric elite cavalry troops with their banners of the Friend Karsteins and crossbowmen. I think they look pretty cool. They really do as a vampire group. And of course, then you got your elite vampires running around. Larger characters, very hard to kill on the battlefield. And yeah, I just think they work well together. So there's a little bit of the vampire type contingent of this horde. All right, well, so we'll go around to the cavalry. These figures here, these are really older ones, but I think the sculpting looks fantastic. They painted up difficult, but I think that they turned out really well. They're just knights, with their heraldry and skeletons. I just think they look really cool. I like them. These are from Demon World, and I think these are some of the best figures on the marketplace. These are Blood Knights, and yeah, I just have 2 units of them. I think that's enough. They just sweep across the field. They kind of go with the theme of the vampires. And then I've just got regular skeleton cavalry painted up as knights and various contingencies. And then there's just a regular skeleton cavalry charging across the field. But I think all in all, it looks really good. I mean, that's the cavalry contingent. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of the vampire contingency and cavalry, individual large vampire lords and vampire with wings. I think it looks pretty decent if you ask me. Oh, and we got some specialty things like this. This was something I really enjoyed doing. So I took all these little bats. Some of them are falling off since I pulled them out, and I put them on, coming out of trees. So it looks like a bat swarm. I thought that looked pretty cool. Yeah, I think it looks cool. That was very creative, Kevin. Yeah, that's what I said. And then fell bats. I guess that's what they call them. And well, yeah, we talked about some of these other things. But hey, let's go to we'll go to some of the specialty pieces here. So these are the ghasts and ghouls and ethereal type units. So I got maybe 3 there. So that's kind of cool. And then we've got to go over here to the elite units. These figures here from jeepers, I just forgot what the name of them was, but I think some people will recognize them. They are some of the best skeleton sculpts out there, and so I decided that I would mount them on one unit base and make these the Red Guard or Blood Guard or Vampire Guard or I guess whatever guard you want them to be. I mean, come on, don't those look awesome? Anyway, I really Really like these figures. I got 3 units of those, so 1, 2, and 3, with different banners. But I think they turned out pretty nice. I got some mean looking sculpts, drummers, and banners and things like that. So these are my archers. So I put them on just to be creative. They're on like streets and stones, and I don't know. I tried to be a little bit creative in my creation of my skeletons. I was kind of on one of those creative maneuvers. Okay, so now we go to the vast horde. So there we've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 blocks of skeletons. I mean, that is something else. So the front row, they're a little bit darker. I kind of differentiated those. These are from Battle Valor Games. And Ed has just unbelievable skeletons. I mean, the sculpting on them is just superb. Easy to paint, but I mean, with little coffin shields. He just did such a great job, and I keep buying them and building more. I don't know why, but I got 6 full double stacked units. I can't say enough about them. The sculpts are fantastic. Let me see if I can show you this a little bit closer, but yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, those sculpts are just gorgeous. You can't get much better than that. And I'm telling you, I'm a miniature connoisseur, really. Anyway, yeah, I think they look pretty good. I liked them. And then, of course, these are 2 rows of just all kinds of skeletons. Every skeleton that I could find in the marketplace that somebody manufactured. I don't even remember who the manufacturers are anymore. There's just so many. I just thought it was really cool. There's some goat ones in there. There's boys, women, dwarves, everything that you could possibly imagine. That's kind of how I wanted my skeleton army to look, was that they're raising the undead, I guess that's what it is. And so they're going to be, soldiers and figures, timeless warriors. And I just wanted them to not look like perfect rank and file, but kind of a little bit like a skeleton horde. And yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with how it looked. And each double unit, I put a standard with them, and tried my best to create standards that were kind of unique. But I mean, look at that skeleton horde. That's just amazing. Woo! Okay, so here's the last piece. These are the ghouls and zombies and things like that. I mean, there's a Stitch giant from Splinter, Lights Miniatures, and just all kinds of nasty ghouls. This was kind of my favorite diorama. It's even got a vampire in there and a mummy. And I had like a supply depot, like they were raiding it and just creating everything. I wanted the ghouls to look, ghoulish and just a ramble and just, that's, yeah, I think that they look pretty nasty, don't they? Jeez, if I saw one of these things, I'd be running for the hills. And just ugly, right? Anyway, those are the zombies. I get more skeletons than I do zombies. And then, of course, back here is my werewolf contingency. I've got one large kind of werewolf lord, a smaller one, and these are from just different companies. I've even got one here that I have, got into the spell there, ripping off a horse, and he's actually throwing him, which I thought that was pretty cool. And I put bones in their mouths, like with this one here is ripped out bones. And this one is a beautiful little wagon that I had destroyed, like it ripped up the wagon and everything else. So I don't know. That's the werewolves. So anyway, as a whole, There's just about anything you'd want. Ghouls, werewolves, necromancers, tons of skeletons and blood guard and archers and a bone dragon and a witch's coven and a von Karstein vampire lord. You've got vampire individuals. You've got ghouls. You've got a black chariot. You've got legions of like vampire soldiers, elite, and you've got bats and fell bats, and a ton of cavalry and blood knight cavalry and crossbow vampire cavalry and ghoul cavalry. I mean, it's all here, and it's just been kind of fun to build. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. The next movie is going to be High Elves. And yeah, I think that's cool. That way I'm done with my, well, I think I have the goblins left to do. Jeepers, I got 3 more of these armies. Oh, and the Bretonnians and the Empire. Okay, maybe I'm not done filming, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe I'll go back to Biblicals, or maybe 7 Years' War, Napoleonics, or something. Whatever my constituency would like. Take care. Well, I hope you enjoyed going through my vampiric skeleton army. So I just have some still pictures here if you want to kind of look at it a little bit closer. But yeah, I really enjoyed painting this army. It was fun because I could just use my imagination of what I wanted it to look like. And I've been building it over probably about 8 years, 9 maybe. And then new companies come out with new figures, like my friend Ed at Battle Valor, and you get, you can print them off now at Forest Dragon. They have some really nice looking ones. Have them print them off at 15. They look great. So I think an army like this just needs to be mixed and matched. Looks great. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think the next one I'll put up, I'll do kind of the same video. This one lasted a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I enjoyed kind of explaining the army. There's no history here. It's just one collector and an artist, like all y'all that watch these things. It just gives you some ideas how to build something and how to paint something, and that's really what I was trying to do with all of these videos, is just give my friends and people that collect with me just some different ideas and let them see my collection and, yeah, see if they see anything that touches their artistic funny bone. Take care.